Welcome to the Entrepreneurial CPA Show, where we take a deep dive into the knowledge needed to break free of that box and become the world-changing entrepreneur we know all of you out there want to be. We're here with the skills you need to break free of that box, just blow it wide open. So let's throw away that green visor and the pocket protector. This is a new world. I'm Garrett, here to help you punch out, and I'm here with Dr. Sean, the man who is always punching above his weight class. Before we get started today, I want to give a big shout out to an amazing conference taking place this summer. July 11th and 12th in New York City, the Accounting and Finance Show. You can see on the banner down below all the details. Click on the link to register. This is going to be the largest accounting and finance show with the technology and skills needed to break free of the box, as we like to say. So don't miss out on it. Dr. Sean and myself will both be presenting in multiple sessions, so please check us out. We'll also be filming some special live episodes of the Entrepreneurial CPA Show. Now, for today's topic, we're going to talk about a major trend right now, cryptocurrency. And with the update that you need is Dr. Sean.
Thanks for that, Garrett. And sort of the overall, theme and almost message that I want to convey here is that, the idea of a cryptocurrency-based economy and all of the implications that are building on that really became a hot topic at the end of 2017 and in 2018 so far, right? Both for operational purposes and also for how individuals and businesses have to actually pay their potential taxes on these items, right? But I would emphasize and highlight the fact that even though all of the buzz and sort of headlines are now done on this topic, that it is really important for us as a field to, one, keep ourselves up to date on all of these changes, iterations, and applications that are evolving on a almost hourly basis, really. And two, to be able to interpret all of that information and to give our clients the advice, insights, and expertise that they really need going forward. And there is one sort of application and insight that I'm really interested in. And the idea of an ICO, right? A initial coin offering. So the IPO, right, the initial public offering, is an idea and a concept that is, I think, pretty basic, right, pretty well known. But the ICO, although it is going to sound like an IPO, isn't really equal, right? So in an IPO, when a firm or a company or an individual is either doing an IPO or buying into an IPO, they are actually buying or selling ownership of a firm, right? And then you buy the ownership of the firm and you have voting rights and you are able to sort of manage the business. But an ICO is a initial coin offering, which is, I think, adds that extra layer of information in there. That is a opportunity for us to help our clients, both internal and external, understand really what is actually going on. And so an ICO is basically a coin offering where the firm who is trying to raise money is, one, doing so on a blockchain platform, and two, the whole goal of the information isn't really to trade a cash for ownership, but it's actually trade cash for an option later. So the best way to sort of summarize it and to sort of explain it to clients is that if you are in an ICO, what you are actually doing is buying an option to own a option to purchase something later, right? Whether it's a product, a service, or a ownership stake in the future. And Garrett, I do think this is a really high level point to really emphasize and to make sure that we're on top of, right? A ICO and an IPO are going to sound almost as if they're the exact same thing, but at the end of it all, right, a IPO is a ownership stake And an ICO is an option to buy something later, right? A product, a service, or a ownership stake in the future. So I do think that sort of that whole space and all of the action right now is really is sort of in flux, right? There's all sorts of rules and guidance that are both on the marketplace right now, and additional guidance that is actually coming out as we are talking about it right now. So I do think that sort of keeping an eye on this trend and also being able to explain these concepts, to internal and external clients is an area that all of us really should be keeping an eye on going forward.
Yeah, Dr. Sean, that's interesting there. We've got these new trends coming at a very rapid rate, and it puts us in a very unique position between whether it's cryptocurrency or even on the more traditional sense, the tax code. There's so much change coming right now that from us to be successful as practitioners, as entrepreneurial CPAs, we should really embrace that idea of loving to learn and staying on top of these different trends. And sometimes it helps to divvy up amongst members of your firm and then kind of share those ideas together. But we've got to really focus on learning these new skills, like you said, so we can collaborate, communicate, explain to the other people we work with, our clients, stay on top of it. Look out for opportunities. Something like an ICO, looking at it from a firm of where do opportunities for us as a firm to make profit rise for our clients. We have clients in the financial service industry or clients with alternative investments that might want to get into that space. It's something to kind of think about and be made aware of. And it gives us an opportunity to really do things differently and really do some interesting problem solving and think about how do we address these issues and what do we do with it, which is very outside the scope of what we traditionally did as practitioners, was just debits and credits. 1 + 1 = 2, right? 2, easy, simple. Now the math becomes infinitely more complicated. So what do we do with it? What makes our job a lot more interesting, a lot more exciting, a lot more engaging. So Dr. Sean, speaking of ICOs, what do you think? Should the Entrepreneurial CPA Show offer our own ICO to the public?
Well, I mean, hey, I'm always interested in pushing the boundaries, right? But in order to offer a ICO, Garrett, and I'm glad you brought this up. In order to actually offer one, we have to first have a underlying platform in place, right? That blockchain idea, right? We have to have that in place, and then more importantly, we have to offer a actual value, right, to the marketplace, right? So for the actual token or a coin that is being offered in the ICO, you'd have to offer individuals or institutions a option or a right to buy something or to have ownership of a item, good, or service going forward. So I think that is an excellent idea, but is one that we have to take offline to hammer out some of those details first.
Dive in a little bit more. That's right. There's a lot of stuff changing in the cryptocurrency world, and we're just trying to give everybody out there a little update, a little thought injection, so you can be made aware of it and you're ready to deal with it in a more proactive way. Because it's hard to keep on top of all these things. We hope we're doing our part to keep you informed of what's going on, make you aware of the changes you need to be ready for. So that's it for today's show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to our crypto update. If you got questions that we talked about, and it's okay, it's not easy, it's complicated, send Dr. Sean or myself a message, LinkedIn, Twitter, reach out to us. We'd love to help. We've been getting a ton of questions, so keep them going. For those of you out there that really want to take the learning going to the next level, and I'm talking to you out there listening today, join one of our entrepreneurial groups where we work with you to become the successful entrepreneurial CPA we know you want to be. More details on our website. Click the link below. And don't forget, as always, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We like to keep that going. And we challenge you today, take action to change the world and invest in yourself.